Rumors swirling through the Young and the Restless universe have ignited passionate debates among fans, especially when the possibility of Chance Chancellor's return has been dangled in front of viewers once again. The whispers started innocently enough, with Melissa Ordway, who has portrayed Abby Newman since 2013, sharing a handful of stunning behind-the-scenes photographs from her early days on set. Her Instagram activity stirred up nostalgia, and her followers were thrilled to reminisce about the history she has built on the show. But the conversation quickly escalated when her husband, Gaston, decided to join in on the fun. It wasn't just a casual exchange of playful comments. His words triggered a wave of speculation that has left fans clinging to hope that the story of Chance Chancellor might not be as final as it once appeared. Gaston, who stepped into the role of Chance temporarily in 2020 during a recast period, has a deep connection to the world of daytime dramas, having played Ben Weston on Days of Our Lives. His short stint on Y and R was received warmly by audiences who appreciated his on-screen chemistry with Ordway and the way he breathed new life into a character already weighed down with legacy and expectation. So when Ordway, in her Instagram post, casually posed a question to her followers, if you could be any character on it YOUNGANDRESTLESSCBS, who would you be? It seemed like harmless fan interaction, but Gaston's quick and direct answer, Chance, carried far more weight than anyone expected. With that single comment, speculation began to swirl across soap blogs, fan pages, and discussion threads. The emojis Ordway dropped in response, a string of laughing and crying faces, did nothing to temper the speculation. Instead, they served as gasoline on a fire already waiting to ignite. For fans who have followed Abby's journey, her connection to Chance has always been an anchor, both romantically and narratively. Their whirlwind romance, complicated marriage, and the eventual unraveling of their relationship created one of the more emotionally layered arcs in recent years. Abby's storylines have often been tied to heartbreak, ambition, and legacy hallmarks of a Newman, and her dynamic with Chance only deepened that complexity. When Chance was written out, leaving Abby behind with a sense of loss, viewers felt that absence acutely. Even though the show has moved her into new directions, many still feel her story has unfinished business with the man who once represented her Chance at stability. The possibility of a recast or a return isn't just about bringing back a character, it's about reigniting an emotional thread that still lingers in the Genoa City tapestry. The history of Chance Chancellor itself makes this rumor particularly tantalizing. As the son of Nina Webster and Philip Chancellor III, Chance carries one of the most powerful legacies in Genoa City. The Chancellor name is synonymous with wealth, respect, and deep family history, and Chance has long been a symbol of the younger generation's attempt to live up to those expectations. From his early years in the series to his more recent stints, Chance has walked the line between duty and personal desire, between love and loyalty. When Gaston took over briefly in 2020, it was under circumstances that already had fans on edge. His portrayal came during a time of high tension, when Abby and Chance's relationship was facing new challenges, and when the character himself needed to project strength, charm, and vulnerability in equal measure. While his tenure was brief, it left an impression, particularly because of the natural chemistry he had with Ordway. Melissa Ordway's role in all of this cannot be understated. Though her appearances on The Young and the Restless have become more sporadic, her continued involvement keeps Abby alive in the minds of viewers. Abby is one of those characters who can fade to the background for stretches of time, only to be pulled back into the spotlight when a major storyline calls for it. The ebb and flow of her presence reflects the unpredictable nature of soap storytelling, where legacies are never erased but sometimes set aside until the right moment. So when Ordway playfully engaged with her fans on Instagram, she likely didn't anticipate that Gaston's comment would spark such a surge of excitement. Yet it speaks to how deeply invested viewers are in Chance and Abby's shared history, and how ready they are to imagine a revival. The question of Chance's fate has always been fraught with drama. His death in past storylines, his supposed absence, and the ambiguity around whether he could one day return make him ripe for a comeback. Soap operas thrive on resurrection. No character is ever truly gone. No ending is ever fully written in stone. The Chancellor family name is too important to be allowed to fade. And bringing Chance back, especially in the form of an actor with a personal connection to Abby's portrayer, would carry a layer of metatextual intrigue that fans would devour. The visual of Melissa Ordway acting opposite her real-life husband in the role of her on-screen husband could provide a fresh spark for Abby's storyline, offering both dramatic authenticity and behind-the-scenes fun for viewers aware of the casting twist. Beyond the nostalgia and speculation, there's also the reality of soap opera production to consider. Casting changes and recasts are staples of the genre, and fan reactions play a pivotal role in shaping decisions. When an actor shows genuine enthusiasm about returning, especially in such a public way, it creates a groundswell of support that producers cannot easily ignore. Gaston's comment may have been playful, but the ripple effect it has caused demonstrates that the hunger for Chance's return is still alive and well. It's the kind of buzz that executives monitor, weighing the potential benefits of reintroducing a character against the logistical challenges of contracts, story arcs, and scheduling. For Melissa Ordway, the situation highlights her enduring popularity and the affection fans have for Abby. Even though she appears less frequently, every return is treated like an event. Abby's presence ties back to the Newman family, and her connections to characters like Victor, Nikki, Victoria, and Devin keep her relevant even when she's off-screen. Bringing Chance back into her orbit would give Abby new material, perhaps reigniting old sparks or forcing her to confront unfinished emotional wounds. Abby is at her strongest when she is forced to balance family loyalty with personal desire, and a revived Chance storyline could give her exactly that. The idea of resurrection in soap operas always invites skepticism, but it also speaks to the heart of why audiences remain loyal. Fans don't just watch for the realism, they watch for the heightened reality where the impossible becomes possible, where lost loves can return, and where storylines can be rewritten with shocking twists. If Chance were to come back, whether played by Gaston or another actor, it would serve as a reminder that no chapter is ever fully closed in Genoa City. The narrative possibilities are endless. A miraculous survival, a secret mission that kept him away, a dramatic re-entry during a wedding or corporate takeover. Each scenario would allow writers to weave Chance back into the fabric of the show while giving Abby and the Chancellor family the emotional stakes they deserve. As fans continue to dissect Ordway's Instagram post and Gaston's comment, the speculation has taken on a life of its own. Some see it as harmless fun, a couple playing with their shared connection to daytime TV. Others view it as a strategic tease, a subtle hint that the writers and producers may already be considering a return. In the world of soap operas, where audience engagement is everything, even the smallest hint can snowball into a movement. And right now, the movement is clear. Fans want Chance Chancellor back, and Justin Gaston has positioned himself as the perfect candidate to step into the role once more. What happens next remains uncertain. For now, Abby's appearances on The Young and the Restless may remain occasional, and Chance's name may linger in conversations without resolution. But if history has taught us anything about Genoa City, it's that no storyline is ever truly finished. The past has a way of resurfacing, secrets refuse to stay buried, and characters thought long gone often find their way back into the spotlight. Whether or not Justin Gaston's playful response on Instagram turns into something more, it has reignited a conversation that fans are eager to keep alive. The buzz is real, the desire is palpable, and the possibility of Chance Chancellor's return has once again captured the imagination of the soap opera faithful. When Chance Chancellor and Abby Newman were united in marriage on The Young and the Restless, it was not just another soap opera wedding. For fans who knew the truth behind the casting, the ceremony took on an even greater resonance. Melissa Ordway, who has embodied Abby for more than a decade, was standing opposite her real-life husband, Justin Gaston, who had stepped into the role of Chance during a transitional period. Their vows were fictional, their romance was scripted, but the chemistry was undeniable, amplified by the fact that the two actors were actually married off-screen. It was one of those rare soap moments where the boundary between performance and reality blurred, creating a uniquely memorable milestone in the long-running history of Genoa City. That period of Gaston's tenure as Chance was fleeting, but it left an imprint. He didn't just recite lines or play the part, he gave Abby's story a sense of authenticity, a grounding presence that only someone with a genuine connection to Melissa Ordway could bring. Fans appreciated the natural affection between the characters, the way Abby and Chance's romance seemed infused with an extra spark, and the sense that, for once, the happy ever after was not only scripted, but mirrored in the actors' real lives. But soaps are never designed to preserve happiness indefinitely. Marriages in Genoa City are more fragile than corporate mergers, and behind every picture-perfect moment lies the potential for tragedy, betrayal, or sudden loss. When the role of Chance was ultimately recast with Connor Floyd, the character was given new direction. Floyd brought his own style to Chance, leaning into the legacy of the Chancellor family while finding chemistry with Abby and carving out his place in ongoing storylines. But as is often the case with soap operas, fate proved unkind. During a dramatic arc set in France, Chance's story reached a brutal climax when he was gunned down by Carter, a merciless figure who ended his life in a way that seemed definitive, shocking fans who had hoped Abby and Chance might still find a path to long-term stability. The image of Chance taking that fatal bullet and collapsing on foreign soil painted the portrait of an ending that few saw coming. Yet for all the devastation it caused within the story, there remained one truth that longtime viewers know better than anyone. In daytime television, death is rarely permanent. The allure of soap operas rests in their ability to twist reality and keep audiences questioning what they know. Bodies are buried only for coffins to later be revealed empty. Lovers presumed lost at sea return years later with elaborate tales of survival. Secret missions, mistaken identities, and hidden medical miracles have all been used as explanations for why a character once considered gone could walk back into Genoa City as if no time had passed. So while Chance's death appeared final, there is always room for doubt, and that doubt is exactly what fuels speculation today. What if the bullet that struck him was not fatal? What if the scene was staged as part of a deeper plot? What if Chance, carrying the weight of his Chancellor heritage, had to disappear into the shadows to protect his family from a threat far more insidious than anyone realized? These questions keep fans engaged and make the possibility of a resurrection tantalizingly plausible. Connor Floyd has since transitioned to a new role, stepping into the part of Chad DiMera on Days of Our Lives, marking his exit from The Young and the Restless and opening the door for speculation about Chance's future. With Floyd occupied on another canvas, some fans immediately began wondering whether this might pave the way for Justin Gaston to reprise his brief but memorable turn as Chance. After all, Gaston himself has flirted with the idea, joking on social media that if he could be any Y and our character, he'd want to play Chance again. Melissa Ordway's playful reaction to his comment, complete with laughing and crying emojis, only added fuel to the fire, as if the couple were gently nudging fans to dream about what could be. Would it work? From a dramatic standpoint, the answer seems clear. Abby is a Newman, born into a dynasty that thrives on dramatic resurrections, shocking revelations, and impossible reunions. Her life without Chance has been defined by resilience, but also by a sense of incompleteness. A revival of Chance's storyline could give Abby a renewed sense of purpose, force her to reconcile her lingering grief with newfound hope, and reintroduce a love story that soap operas thrive on. From the audience's perspective, bringing Gaston into the role once more would not only satisfy nostalgia, but also capitalize on the meta-drama of seeing real-life spouses continue to play opposite one another. But beyond the romance and the spectacle, there is also the Chancellor legacy to consider. Chance is not just another character, he represents the continuation of a family line deeply woven into the fabric of Genoa City. His presence ensures that the Chancellor Mansion and its history remain relevant, anchoring the newer generation of storylines to the weight of tradition. His death leaves a void not only in Abby's life, but in the larger narrative of the young and the restless. Reviving him, especially with Gaston stepping back into the role, would allow the writers to keep that legacy alive while also exploring new dramatic possibilities. Perhaps Chance has been held captive, his death faked as part of a cover-up, waiting for the right moment to break free and reclaim his life. Or maybe he has been working undercover, protecting the Chancellor fortune from a threat that extends beyond Genoa City's borders. Any of these options would not only justify his absence, but also set the stage for explosive revelations upon his return. Fans know that soap operas often blur the line between reality and fiction, and this situation offers the perfect storm of both. The idea of Justin Gaston playing Chance once again is not just a casting decision, it's a meta-narrative that adds layers to the viewing experience. Audiences would see Abby and Chance together on screen, while knowing that Melissa and Justin are married in real life. It gives every kiss, every argument, and every reconciliation a level of authenticity that is rare in scripted television. In a genre that thrives on passion and connection, that kind of authenticity is invaluable. Still, there are questions to consider. Would Gaston be willing to commit to a longer stint this time? Would the show be prepared to integrate him into front-burner storylines that capitalize on his chemistry with Ordway while also building connections to the broader cast? And perhaps most importantly, would fans embrace him as a long-term Chance after having seen Connor Floyd take the character in his own direction? Soap viewers are loyal, and while they crave familiar faces, they are also wary of change. A return would need to be carefully crafted, ensuring that Gaston's version of Chance feels both familiar and fresh, tied to his past, but ready to drive future narratives. Ultimately, the question of whether Chance Chancellor will rise again remains unanswered, but the potential is undeniable. His supposed death in France was tragic, but tragedies in soaps are often preludes to reinventions. With Floyd now occupied on another daytime stage, and with Gaston openly teasing the idea of returning, the timing could not be more perfect for the young and the restless to deliver one of its trademark twists. Abby could be thrown into shock, Genoa City could be turned upside down, and fans could once again find themselves glued to their screens as the impossible becomes possible. So should Justin Gaston return to the young and the restless as Chance? For many fans, the answer is a resounding yes. The romance, the legacy, the dramatic potential, it all points to a storyline ripe for revival. Whether as a playful tease or a genuine possibility, the seed has been planted, and viewers are eager to see whether it will bloom into a full-fledged comeback. In a world where no one ever stays gone forever, Chance Chancellor may yet walk again through the halls of the Chancellor Mansion, and when he does, Abby and Genoa City will never be the same.